Okay, so last discussion for this class, I really like the idea of constructing an ideal system. This all feels so big to me because I feel like the root of, the healthcare system in general is very flawed because we're under like a very capitalist view of society, especially in America. So I think in order to change that, that would have to be like eliminated, and that's a whole other thing we could be talking about. I would say I would like to see more of the idea of community mutual aid, and I already see that a lot in the Bay Area. But if that's like an approach that feels more accessible to people, um, yeah, as far as user friendly, therapy could be really inaccessible based on like your insurance, whether you even have that. Um, and yeah, I think for a lot of people, therapy seems really intimidating, partly because of the monetary value that's been placed on it, but also it stigmatizes people, um, especially, in society, we're kind of taught to not reach out for help as much, or, you know, for certain demographics, it's seen more as like a weakness to do that sort of thing. So I think um, if there's a way to fix that part of how society is, this would also be part of my idealized system. Um, and yeah, I think for me personally, I would love to do more community focused mutual aid, especially after all I've learned from this class. I like the idea of that more because you're working with the systems that the people already have, and you're not teaching them anything. You're more like supporting them in what they already know and what they themselves would like to learn. Um, and another group mentioned this, but like just the unfortunate idea of how when we're all out of school, I'll kind of be in student debt, and how that's definitely going to affect how we view what kind of job we want to take on. I think about my own therapist and how she does both private practice and community care, and how that to me sounds like I would be burnt out like so easily. And that's already like an overwhelming thought that, yeah, I wish that wasn't an aspect I had to think about. Um, but yeah, and I feel like for most people in general, um, they see the inaccessibility of therapy, like I mentioned. I also think the idea of there being less of a hierarchy, like helping people and myself navigate like the power dynamic, that can make things more user friendly. Because again, a lot of people only view therapy as what they've seen in media, and doesn't really teach people how to advocate for themselves. They put a lot of emphasis on we know the most, and people will trust anything you tell them. Um, if they feel like they don't have the knowledge themselves, I guess, if that makes sense. Um, I'm also taking psychopharmacology with this class, and um, it's, kind of basic knowledge, but just learning more about how predatory the pharmaceutical companies are. Even as someone who takes medication, I see the flaws in that system, and how that would further stigmatize any sort of mental health care that people would look into, instead of actually acknowledging the root of why people are going through the things they're going through. Um, you know, yeah, so I think these are the things I would look for, hopefully. Um, I'm still hopeful for a future, especially after reading a lot of what we've read in this class. It's been helpful to see the different perspectives that people hold when it comes to therapy.